Hi, everyone. You have reached the Kimberly Cloud Show where I go ahead and interview innovators. I go ahead and interview authors, actors, all wanting to thrive and succeed. So if you on my show, please reach out to me at either the Kimberly Cloud Show 39 on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. On Twitter, the KCS Experience 84, LinkedIn, the Kimberly Cloud Show, and Twitch, and Apple, and Roku, now on Roku at the Kimberly Cloud Show LLC. Thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Give me just a second. No, I'm just gonna stay like this. But pretty much, I wanted to talk about some things. I have an appointment in the next 30 minutes. I'm leaving out. So let's get started with trying to edit this video. Okay? Start from the beginning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
My name is Tanisha Williams. Thank you for having me. And I am calling from California. I'm here in a little small area of California, which is Miraloma. It's about 45 minutes outside of LA. I know most people are familiar with the LA area, so I just offer that as an idea of where I'm located.
Okay. And can we talk about your past leading up into your present?
So yeah, I worked for the county for 25 years. I started there after graduating from California State Fullerton with an accounting degree. And I initially started with the Department of Public Works. I later on transferred to Department of Health Services, where I started auditing. And that's where I stayed for the majority of my time during the county. And this is where I did a lot of auditing for nonprofits who contracted to provide county services. We would go in and look at their books, make sure they were billing the county correctly, and require them to pay back money in cases where they weren't. So I did that for about 10 years as an auditor. I moved to an audit supervisor where I supervised a staff of auditors. From there, I just, started feeling like I needed something more out of life. And then my life slowly started to transition. I think during that time, I probably started about, I want to say 5 different side businesses. Me and my family, we had started a real estate company. We also started a nonprofit where we would help at-risk youth that were struggling with addictions. I've also had a online business, a little boutique where I sold women's items, and also a ebook store where I brought authors and readers together to chat about the books that they read. And my latest venture, it has been opened up an adult residential facility at my house. So that's kind of my backstory and some of the things that I've done.
Okay, and tell me, like, your coaching. Tell me a little bit more about the coaching aspect of how you coach individuals and stuff.
So my coaching was, let me kind of give you an idea of when and how that started. I was feeling frustrated and unfulfilled, after working so many years for the county and with the county, and just knowing that I was being drawn in a different direction to offer, services to other people. I think I've always been a coach. My kids will tell you I'm always, telling them that this is a lesson. There's a lesson in everything. And so I've always wanted to help and guide people towards, better versions of themselves. With my coaching program now, I use the same strategies and tools that I used when I planned my departure or retirement with the county into now, doing everything on my own as a business owner. So what it does is it takes them, it's a 6-week program, and it takes them through 4 different steps, one of which is planning your dream, the 6 weeks dream builder program. And so in planning their dream, they were basically doing like a deep dive into their finances. How much will they be making once they leave their job? Will they have any residual income coming in? What do their expenses look like? What does their debt look like? What can be paid off in order to prepare them to make that transition? So we're looking at their expenses and seeing how much they need to make with, an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, in order to cover their expenses, and that will help them make the transition. The second part is building their dream. And so what we do, or believing their dream. So what we do with that is we go over, we create like a system of belief, because a lot of times I think what keeps most people stuck is that they don't believe they can do it. You have that mindset that just kind of keeps you stuck and holds you back. So what I do with my clients is we create that belief system. And that looks like, just doing positive meditation, reading information that can then solidify that belief so that they start feeling like, yeah, this is something that I can do. And I don't think, all the money in the world will not allow a person to step out on their own if they don't believe that they can do it. So that's what that's about. And then the third part is seizing your dream. And this has to do with challenging those fears. A lot of times, we face fears, those voices that tell us, we can't do it. And we're fearful in making those first steps to our dream life. And so this is about challenging them. And the reason why I say challenge instead of conquering them, because I think a lot of fears, if you wait to conquer a fear, you'll stay stuck and in the same position. So challenging them is about moving in spite of your fears. And then the last part is funding your dream, in which we actually start to build and determine what their business plan or what their business should look like. So we look at some things that they're good at, things that they've been told that they're good at, and things that they like doing. And then also what can they make money doing. So we start to look at what business would be suitable and best for them. And then the next couple of weeks in that part of it will be actually creating a structure for their business. So we're doing the LLC, if they're doing a sole proprietor, we're looking at getting their website up and running, building a marketing plan. So all of that next section is structured around them launching their business and positioning them to start making money, which will then factor into them being able to do their job.
Okay. And let me go backwards a little bit. Can you tell me about the time that you got your degree in business?
Yeah, so that was years in the making. When I first started going to school, I was working full time at the time. I had my daughter, and so I was taking classes at night and working full time in the day. When I initially started, I had to kind of take a break from, going to school full time. And so I was kind of doing a little bit of both. I was working full time and then going to school. And so it took me a lot longer than, the standard 4-year period to graduation. It took me a while to get my degree. But I think that last 2 years where I was just able to just, push forward and take more classes and just really get it done. I had just gone through a divorce. And so now I, knew I needed to support my daughter on my own full time. And I think that's what just kind of, motivated me and made me just go all in to just get it done.
And where do you see yourself going towards the future?
I see myself in the coaching, helping other women get to where they want to be, wherever what their dream life looks like in terms of, either mentoring them, coaching them. I'd like to really build a community, I think, of powerful women that, know that they were just meant to do more and are just looking for some guidance, some steps, some procedures, some tools to take them to that next level.
And if you had to give a piece of advice to the young entrepreneur with everything that you've done over the years, what would that be?
I think the biggest thing is to keep learning. We live in the information age right now, and literally anything and everything that you want to do, you can find information for. Never stop learning. That's what's going to push you forward. And if you take advantage of all the platforms out there that offer skill sets and tools and resources in different areas, there's no reason that you can't be successful. There's so much information out there. So I would just say, never get to the point where you feel like you know it all and you have it all. Just continue to just learn as much as you can.
And tell me, what was your favorite, because we still got some time on the scoreboard, so tell me, what was your favorite class and why was this your favorite class and how was it educational to you?
Are we talking about in college, when I was in college?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my favorite class, when I first started at college, I started my major was business administration. I didn't know exactly which way I wanted to go with that. So I was just taking like a lot of general education classes. I'd always been drawn to the business field and wanting to start my own business, from years ago. And so, but I just didn't know exactly which way I wanted to do. And, in business administration, there's so many ways you can go with finance, with marketing, management. There's so many concentrations. And so within my requirement, with all business administration, the requirement is to take an accounting class. And I remember being in that class, and the teacher, we had a project to do where we had a company, each of us was given a company, and we had to maintain the financial records for that company. And we had to, do the general ledger and do all the transactions for the expenditures and the income, and everything has the balance at the end. And so when she was up there and she was going over one of our assignments, and she got to the bottom line number, and she's like, if this is the number that it has to balance with all of your ledgers. And she says, if your number balances, and if as a result you get like a little tickle in your stomach, of excitement, then maybe this is the concentration for you. And that's exactly how I felt. I was just so excited to have those numbers, balanced. And I think that was my favorite class, because it made me aware of exactly what I wanted to do.
And how can the people, do you have any other, because you have a lot of advice, I can see it in you. Do you have any other forms of advice before I ask you, how can the people reach you?
I think another thing, if somebody is starting out in being an entrepreneur, they want more out of their life. I think the biggest thing is to set a system where you are motivated on a regular basis. Because even people that are individuals who are doing well in business, we still have those moments where you don't feel like you're getting enough traction. You don't feel like you're motivated. You don't feel like, so if you're constantly listening to, I would suggest getting an audiobook account, Audible account, where you can, maybe listen. For me, I used to have to commute 2 hours to work and 2 hours back. And so I started using that time to then listen to audiobooks. And I think over time, I just got stronger in my beliefs and feelings that, I can do this. And so I just kept with that system, added it to, my ritual going and coming to work. Now that I don't have the commute and I have left the county, now I just listen to it, when I'm taking a bath. So you just have to maintain a system of belief to just so that you can like internalize that feeling and knowing that you're meant for more, you're on the right track, you can do it. And I think that is going to be something that will push you into whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so that when you have the opportunity to make that leap or make that transition, your belief system will match up to that opportunity, and you'll be able to do it.
And how can the people reach you?
They can reach me via email, which is tw@dreamsunlimitedcoaching.com. They can go to my website, which is dreamsunlimitedcoaching.com. If you click on the Start Here button, it'll walk you through 3 steps in order to get started, where you would take a short assessment about what your goals are, what it is you're trying to accomplish, and that goes to me. And then you schedule a 15-minute coaching session where we talk about what it is that you want to do, and we see if this program would be suitable.
Well said. And I want to thank you so much for being a delight to my show. You all definitely take care. I'll be back on here later. Stay on the line, Tanisha, and okay. I will see y'all in a bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
The only reason I didn't edit it because I was listening while I was sweeping. Oh, was I listening? We'll see y'all in a bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shelly Jarrett. I'm from Canada, of course, and I am an entrepreneur, women's advocate, and I would say a change maker. I've started...
Before we get started, can we talk about your past leading up into your present, what you do?
For sure. Yes, well, I really entered social work. I have a social work degree, a social work background. I've always worked with women in the domestic violence sector. And so I've done that for a while. And pretty much I went back, to school a few years ago. I wanted to do something.
Just to let you guys know, I have 5 minutes. When I get back, we're going to finish strong and send these to Roku TV, DC TV, Thurston County Media, Santa Barbara TV, and Tap TV.
Something a little bit more because, in that industry, the work is very heavy, right? And so I wanted to always stay within the working with women. And so I went into the financial services when my children were very young. And I stayed in that area for about 17 years. I worked with the bank and different financial institutions. And, things kind of changed in 2008. I think the country went into like a financial recession. So I wanted to do...
Oh my God, the country went into a recession in 2008, just like United States went into a recession. That is so weird. Very, very weird. It's every 10 years, seem like it. Every 10 to 12 years, it goes into, do you see the pattern? Another recession, inflation. Noticing a pattern. In the 1930s, it went into recession. Then again in the 1960s or 50s. It's a pattern.
Something a little different. I wanted to leave corporate, and I knew I can do more and I can offer more. So I was encouraged to go and do an entrepreneurial business course, and that's what I did. And I, graduated very well and got all the things I needed to do, how to do social media, all the taxes, everything you need to know about running your own business. And I decided I wanted to start an image consulting company because I'm into fashion and love fashion and so forth. So I started that. I did that for about a year. And then I started getting, a large following on social media. At that time, social media was getting really popular. And I just one day got an inspiration that I want to take this to a bigger platform and start a magazine. And so I consulted with my spouse and I said, would you like to be my editor? Because he's got some journalism background.
I remember her now. They a dual team.
He agreed. And I put on social media, I'm looking for writers in the health and wellness, faith and community, entertainment, anything in those areas. And I started getting a lot of calls. People wanted to write for the magazine, and the magazine just blew up after that. And so I stayed within that sector. I didn't move to other sectors because it's so broad, right? And a matter of fact, this past weekend, we just had a big party, celebrated 9 years, coming out of COVID, and people want to get together again and celebrate. And we just had the biggest party. So, I'm encouraged again to go further. To date, we have about over 3,000 subscribers. People are subscribed to the magazine. We also have an app, SMJ Magazine app. It can be downloaded on the Google Play and the other one, the thing. So an Apple Play Store. So of course it's there, and people, the first 6 pages are free, and then if they like the content, they can download it and create a library. And so I've been doing that, and we do stories that are, real stories. We go into the community and speak to people about their stories, and from those stories, that's how we're able to. People tell their stories, and we feel that it needs to be on bigger platforms. And so Me Too happened in 2017. And I thought, this is not something that's just happening in the political arena or the entertainment industry. It happens right here in our community. So we did an issue regarding women in our community that were experiencing gender-based violence, and I thought I wanted to bring it to the screen because it's fine being in a magazine, but we need more people to see this. And this is also women tell their stories, and it also encourages other women to tell their stories, because we know it's happening in our schools, in our homes, in our churches, like everywhere there's abuse, in the workplace, and we just wanted to bring it to the forefront. And it so happened, we interviewed some women, and some women in the magazine told their story. We wanted to extend it to a diverse group of women, because we know it's not just happening in the Black community or any one community, it's happening in all communities, right? Across the social economic sector. So that happened in 2019. It did very, very well. It's called What About Us? And the reason why it has that name is because it's like, what about us? Because there was so much media around Me Too, but they weren't talking about our diverse communities. So hence we named it What About Us? So it has a very interesting title, and this went on to do very, very well, numerous awards in the film festival sector. And my goal is to promote it through awareness and education, because the more people are educated about what's happening, they can, take control of their situation. And then out of COVID came, there was always financial abuse, because that's part of abuse as well that a lot of women experience. Came economic abuse, which was not so much until COVID happened, and a lot of women were like trapped at home with
another recession.
Their abusers, nowhere to go, not being able to access their funds. A lot of information came up around that. So I'm doing a lot of advocacy work around that, educating like the banks and different financial institutions that, for example, they don't know the difference. If a woman may have a joint account with her spouse, but then she wants to get her money and have her separate account, like things like, why should the teller notify her spouse that she wants her own account and that kind of thing. So just like giving women a little bit more control over their finances and that. So that's what I do now, also promote economic abuse. And and now again, because of COVID, like I said, a lot of people pivoted in whatever they were doing. I pivoted to more helping women, stay-at-home moms, women wanting a little to start their own business, wanting more, to, especially women fleeing domestic violence. I, talk to them about using entrepreneurship as a healing tool, because once they are economically empowered, they're able to make their own decisions and so forth. So so that's what I've been doing now. That's what I'm doing pretty much now, and I'm sort of enjoying it.
Once they're economically stable, this is what all women need to know. Once we are economically stable and not dependent on, even though we're not always dependent on a man, but once we're economically stable, that means that we can make or break ourselves. We can either make ourselves by becoming more independent and investing in the right things, because you always should invest, but you have to be tricky and you have to be weary of certain investments you make, and have to be right there to know mentally that it may not always work.
Yes.
If you continue to strive to move forward, like financially, you'll make it. With that being said, I commend you. I commend you on everything that you have accomplished.
Thank you.
Go, girl.
Thank
Seriously.
You.
And you're the longest person that ever talked this long. And I was like, cool. I was like, okay. So now it's time for the questions.
Right.
So the questions being, where do you see yourself going, for the future, Miss Jarrett?
Oh, wow. There's so many things that I want to do, because I see myself as a visionary. I visualize what's next. So I'm like you, I never stop, because I did check here. But I've been doing quite a lot. I did my little research. And so, I couldn't even tell you because I could be doing anything. I mean, the sky is the limit, or even beyond that, right? And so I love filmmaking, right? Like the first documentary, like I said, I had no previous experience, but just being in business for a while and having the right people around me to able to make the project a reality. I want to do more of that. I want to be able to tell our stories because there's just so many, right?
It's 5 minutes left, so I'm gonna go ahead and say F it. We're gonna do this. We riding.
And we are the right people to tell our own stories. And so I see myself as a storyteller, just improving and telling more and more stories. And education and awareness is one of the most important things. Once you're equipped with knowledge, really the sky is the limit. And like I said, just being a women's advocate, supporting disempowered women to be empowered, and there's so many things you can do with your life. I mean, for some women, it takes time coming out of domestic violence situation. It takes time. So I know I have to be patient with them, but I want to be able to provide the resources because there are many resources available. I can't make her leave her situation. She has to be empowered enough to leave. But what I can do is provide the resources and information and consulting and that kind of stuff. So I think I'll be doing that for quite some time. Yeah, because I enjoy doing that.
Yes, ma'am. It's amazing at the things you've done. If you had to give an entrepreneur one piece of advice, what would it be?
Just be true to yourself, really, and tap into those gifts and talents that you have. We all have them within us. Be around positive.
100% true. Don't be around negative people. Be around positive people that want to see you do good. Not to make themselves look good, but to make people in general look good. To make them look good in a sense that you don't want no money or credit for it. You just want to make them look good. And that's what I do. That's what my show is all about. Making people look good and building my portfolio. If you want to know my ulterior motive, is to build my portfolio, whether you take my film that I create or not. My goal is to make you look good.
People and go for what you want. Don't let anyone tell you, no, you cannot. Because I didn't think I can, leave corporate because, we're depending on that paycheck. We got to pay our bills. We got to pay our mortgage. I didn't think that I can leave and really start my own business. And this is like 10 years ago, I was encouraged to do it. And I actually did it. And look where I am 10 years later. So I would encourage you to follow your dreams, follow your goals, stay away from negative people and go for it. You will make it.
Is there any way that you can possibly throw in? Because I always say this when I speak to hardworking entrepreneur moguls that accomplish stuff and they actually sold water to a well, then it makes me feel humble and it makes me feel good to know that they are striving to move forward, and I should as well. That's what encourages me, and I would like to say the floor is yours if you would like to talk for 2 minutes about anything that we did not discuss.
Right. Basically, I like to say that, like I said, I'm a strong advocate for women and women empowerment. I think even just COVID has created a lot of opportunities. Yes, there was the negative side to it. We, lost family members, but I think one of the things that it's taught us is to care for each other more, look out for each other, and to share. Like, for example, in my situation right now, being a successful entrepreneur, I like to share that opportunity to other women, other people, because I cannot go to my grave with it. I would not have done my purpose, right? My purpose here in life is to share with others and pull each other up. And so I would like to say, stay encouraged, stay around positive people, and look to people like myself who are the movers and shakers and doing amazing things in the community, and you will be inspired, because I look to other people as well for inspiration. And I can get up every day and I say, well, what can I help today? What can I do with this house that I was blessed with? I can share it to others. So I like to encourage everyone to, every day is a better day. Some days are bad, but some days are good. And try to use the good days to not be so hard on yourself. Just give yourself a chance. And we're just all in this together, and we will win together. I'm on Instagram. If you go to Instagram, Shelly Jarrett 1, and I have a Linktree profile. Just click on the Linktree, link in the bio, and you'll see all my body of work in my LinkedIn. I'm sorry, in my Linktree. You will see all my work, and I'm also on LinkedIn.
Stay on the line. Thank you all for joining my show today. I'll be back on here in a bit. Thank you, Miss Jared, and thank you all who was watching. You all take care. Have a nice day.
Thank you for having me.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Sitting up. I'm sorry. I've been like this since I've been in the Army. They actually took a picture of me sleep listening to in basic training. I said, was I asleep? Was that me? And so I doubled back. It's not that I'm not listening. It's that when I listen to people, I don't get bored. It's just that I get lethargic. It's weird. And I'm going to ask the doctor about that. Maybe put on some type of stimulant or something. I can listen the same way, but when I hear their story, if they're talking too long, it distances me and I disconnect. If that makes any sense to you guys out there that's struggling with the same thing. So pretty much those are the two women that is going to go on my Roku channel. I'm going to put them on DC TV. I'm going to put them on Santa Barbara TV. I'm going to put them on Top TV in Long Park. Big shout out to Long Park. Thank you so much. He got me on 5 days a week. So if you're in Long Park, which I know a couple of people from there, just go ahead and hit me up, like seriously. And then Long Park is next to Vandenberg Space Force. And I used to go there all the time and go to Long Park. They taught me how it was to be on a actual television show. I got, real quick, 2 minutes. My first shot at this was PA Live. I did PA Live, but my very first editing segment that I did myself was due to Stephen Paskey. I have to call him today. I know he cannot put me on Santa Maria Community Television Network because it's only for the people around that area. He would love to put me on. I could even lie if I wanted to and be like, hey, look, Stephen, I'm in Santa Maria again. I'm not going to do that to him. I wouldn't lie to somebody that reminded me and let me do an interview. He's the executive producer of Santa Maria, and he had a lot of stuff to say. And I got to meet Alice Patino, which was the mayor. She gave me a certificate, which was the mayor of Santa Maria for locally loved. No, so many things glued together. Locally loved, locally owned. The bank gave me a shout out. It was so, y'all have to see it. I got to put it on my page right now. Hold on. Ventura Bank. I forgot what bank. My face wasn't on there, but it's just the fact they did it. I was making big moves. Hold on. Here we go. I'm about to show it to you right now. If I can find it. I got it. I think I got it. Thank you so much, KSBY. Hold on. We're going to watch it together. Hold up. Oh,
I'm Stephen Harding.
Hold on. I owe him an apology. I didn't do nothing, but hold on, you guys. Y'all got to see this. It's not going to hinder nothing. YouTube better not hinder me from this. And then I'm off of here.
I'm Stephen Harding with American Riviera Bank with another locally owned, locally loved business you can support right here on the Central Coast.
Blue Cloud Cleaning Company is proud to give a 15% discount to veterans and a 10% discount to regular paying customers. To know more about our services and discounts, call Kimberly Cloud at 443-240-7353 or 667-225-1067.
American Riviera Bank, proud to sponsor our locally owned, locally loved businesses on the Central Coast.
Yeah. Sorry about that, you guys. I shouldn't have showed that. Hold on. Where is StreamYard? Oh, I'm on StreamYard. Okay. Okie doke. So yeah, so pretty much that's basically it. I have an appointment at 10:30. I gotta hurry up and rush out. It's a 5-minute drive, but I gotta hurry up and rush out because I gotta find parking and everything. So I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. I gotta break down everything. I'll be back on here later to finish up. Bye.